Building a tiny house using recycled materials can be really challenging because it's difficult when you've got a lot of materials from a lot of different places to actually bring them together and make it really look like it matches. Today I'm in Christchurch visiting Corey and Pat, who have done an incredible job in bringing recycled materials together to create a beautiful home to start their life here in New Zealand.
We started dating in December 2012. I just graduated from school and I started working, and we met, and he was interested in traveling, and so I mentioned New Zealand, and he was totally on board with it right away from the beginning.
How did you come to this idea of building a tiny house? How did that all come about?
Well, we were researching since when we were dating, like right at the very beginning. We were researching it, and then after a year of living here, we did it. We found a trailer really cheap and we just went with it.
First of all, how did you end up here where you are? Because it's a really lovely property.
So actually we were up the road about 1 kilometer originally where we built it, and we rented a little section just to build it. And then the lady we were renting from, she knew them, and we ended up here.
What a wonderful spot for it.
Yeah, it is.
I'm really keen to see inside the tiny house, and we should get out of the rain, so
yeah, come on
let's
in, man.
get inside.
So here it is, man.
Wow. This is such a great design. This wood, I mean, what a feature wall to walk in and be greeted by, eh? That's just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
So
100% all recycled wood.
Wow.
Yep.
So where did all this come from?
They were going to actually throw it away at the university. They had it in a big pile, and I just asked if I could have it, and there it is.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And what a feature it makes of the house as well, eh?
Yeah. We basically built the whole tiny house with about 80% recycled materials. Our goal was just to basically use as much recycled and reused materials as we could.
Great.
So all the kitchen and everything is pretty much all been, someone's had it before, you know?
Right.
And we got a couple lofts here. This one just had like our luggage and stuff.
Oh yeah, so storage loft up the side.
Yep.
Yeah.
And another storage loft up there, a little one.
Excellent.
And yeah, and then these crates both have storage in them.
Yep, so this here, it makes up your living room area now?
Yep. So the TV will be there, and then we have this table here, which will roll out, and you can use it to eat at and stuff like that.
Very good. And so what do we have up here? Because this is a really interesting design as well. Is this the bed that's going to pull out from under there?
Yep, so that's the bed that pulls out of there, yep.
So that's a good option for people who are maybe a little bit worried about the sleeping loft maybe being a little bit too confined for them, or for people who are worried about actually being able to access a sleeping loft.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's like one of our main concerns when we were building the tiny houses. We don't want to be going up and down to a loft, or thinking about making the bed every time and stuff like that in the loft. It just sounds just horrible. So we just came up with that idea, have the bed pull out into the floor.
So obviously this area is a little bit more stepped up because of the bed underneath it. And then so what do we have over this side?
So over there is the bathroom. Yep. So full shower, and then we're going to put in a composting toilet. It's pretty tiny, but the main things is we wanted a full shower. The whole bathroom was based on that. And then after we got our shower in, we said, okay, how much room do we really need?
I think that's something that's really important in small space design, is to figure out what's really important to you and then just make sure that your space accommodates that. Because if you make those compromises in your home, you're never really going to feel comfortable there, are you?
Absolutely, yeah. I agree, 100%, man.
Sure.
And, little sink, little storage space here with the suitcase.
That's really cool. I love using the suitcase for that. That looks great.
And then we've reused some of the roofing material. So we got all our roofing material. It was all secondhand. Right. And we had so much left over. We've used it here. We've used it on the outside out there. Because we had it all laying on the ground outside. And I can't waste this.
Yeah, sure.
So we reused it there.
And it looks great. And roofing material is the perfect choice to use in a wet area as well, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
Makes perfect sense.
And it's rustic, Goes with the theme a little bit.
And so what do we have behind here?
So basically this is where we're going to keep our clothes and stuff. So we each basically get a locker. And we got this, I think we paid $100 for it. And we just repainted it.
We kind of cheated a little bit. Most people have to downsize quite a bit when they move into a tiny house, but we didn't have any furniture. We both came here with 2 suitcases apiece, like less than 2 years ago. So we were already really in the habit of not having much. And the place we're living in now, it was all furnished anyway. So we never really had to buy a couch to get rid of. So, so I think the process to downsize really isn't going to be that bad.
Right.
That being said, we haven't moved in yet.
So yeah, well basically just get a locker to keep stuff in. And then this is just like another little storage cabinet I built. And this is all made out of, I got these storage crates from a friend of mine. And he gets them all the time. And he just throws them away. And I says, oh, don't throw them away. I'll use those and I'll make something out of them, you know? And then I just made that. From the hinges to everything on this thing was pretty much free except for the handle and the New Zealand mirror there.
And so what was your big motivating factor in choosing to use so many recycled materials? Was it an environmental choice or an ethical choice, or what was it?
I think it was more or less the costs. New Zealand costs are pretty high compared to back in America, where I'm from.
That's very true.
And it kind of scared me, you know, the prices on trailers and all that kind of stuff. I was just like, wow. So, and I'm in construction right now, so they're constantly throwing away materials, and I just see it going in skips every day, and I'm like, I'll take that, you know. And for example, all the insulation in our house, 100% is free.
Right.
Yeah, all the insulation we got for free out of dumpsters and stuff. People are constantly throwing things away, and you know, on job sites, you know, I'm at the art gallery now, or I was at the hospital before, and they're just constantly throwing stuff in the dumpster, you know.
Yeah, pretty much every day he'd come back with a treat, or there was a building closing, a bunch of tools that was closing down, and we bought some crates off them.
Another free item here.
Yeah, that was free.
It's just, you look around, it's just constantly free items everywhere. You know?
Yeah, the radio was in the trash. So much stuff. And we just like being thrifty and like giving old things new lives.
Because it's actually interesting that you make that comment about the difference in prices between the US and New Zealand, because obviously we have a lot of people in the US who are watching this channel and they hear about the construction costs of some of the spaces here and they're comparing that to what they're paying for materials back home, and it's so much cheaper in the US. Why is it that you think we're paying so much more for materials here in New Zealand?
I really don't know. I mean, I was shocked when I came here. I mean, just the trailer alone, you know, it's a used trailer, $3,000, you know, but back home, you could get a trailer like this for $500.
Yeah.
You know, and it was shocking to me. It really was. I really don't know why the prices are so high, though.
Yeah. I think a big part of it is maybe because we're on an island.
Yeah,
a little bit more geographically isolated. We're a lower population, so we don't have the numbers to mass manufacture or anything, and to sort of bring down the cost that way. Yeah, I mean, like you've got places in the States like Home Depot and places like that that are just these giant warehouses filled with materials, and we just don't really have anything comparable here, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Or not to that scale, at least.
It's nice to see the recycled building places, though, like Musgroves and places like that.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't actually see a lot of that back home.
So what about the power here? How is that all working? Are you going to be connected into mains, or are you intending to be fully off-grid? What's the plan?
Our goal is to be fully off-grid, which we're heading in the right direction.
Right.
We just got the power sorted last weekend. Okay. So batteries are in, lights are working, everything's going, you know, and it seems to be pretty good.
Great. So what kind of setup have you gone for?
It's just a basic solar setup, and then we have our instantaneous gas hot water heater.
Right.
And yeah, and then the composting toilet, so there's no sewage or anything.
Right. Right. Do you have a grey water plan, or is that still up in the air?
We do have a grey water plan. So we have a soak pit outside.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna basically use all biodegradable and soaps and everything like that.
Yeah, good option. And I mean, I think that's one of the things, if you can eliminate the black water component, then grey water is actually super simple to deal with, isn't it?
Absolutely, and you can recycle it and use it for the garden. You can do so many things with it, you know?
Yeah. So what about water and water collection here? What's your plan for that?
So we have a hookup. They actually ran a pipe for us to hook up the water. So free water. I was initially going to put a tank in the trailer when I was building it. And then I just did away with the whole idea because I was overwhelmed at the time, you know, and just building the thing, and I just couldn't get my head around it. So I just said, let's do away with the tank idea for a little bit, and then if we want to install one later, we can.
So what's this down under here?
It's just another little storage compartment right here. It's actually pretty big. You can you know, reach right back in there. There's a bin in there. Yeah, you can drag it back. I think it'll be for her shoes, to be honest, because she's got about 1,000 of them.
Girls are always worried that they're never going to have enough room for shoes in a tiny house.
Yeah.
It's such a common problem.
I know.
Yeah, but that's such a cool way of doing that. And, and I really love how you've used every little bit of space that you can find in this room. Eh?
Really
it's
got
really
it,
nice.
You know?
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Because as much as I think tiny house living is about finding those ways that you can downsize, also just making sure that you've still got the storage space for when you do need it is just so important, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And I couldn't see a whole section like that just go to waste, you know, put a floor over it. It would be craziness.
So tell me about the entertainment area here. This looks really interesting.
Yeah, so I got the crating for free and just kind of modified it a little bit. And awesome. Yeah, this was actually a really long crate. The whole thing was just one long giant crate, and I just chopped it into sections, and there it is, man. Perfect. Free, 100% free. I actually I had that sitting around for about 5 months, and I didn't know what I was gonna do with it. And then one day I came here and I just looked at it and I said, "That's it. I'm gonna chop it up into 3 pieces. I'm gonna make an entertainment system with it."
Very necessary here in Christchurch. You've got the sparky wood stove there as well, so excellent heating option for the space.
Yep, haven't got the flue hooked up yet, but we're still working on that.
So the kitchen area, I mean, this is a really nice, functional looking space, eh?
This is where I've spent probably 70% of my time building inside the house. So this counter is 2 parts, it's part of 2 counters.
Right.
So we bought this kitchen counter, basically, the whole wooden frame. It had a stainless steel countertop on it. I took it off, and I said, that's not going to work because of the length. It wasn't long enough. It wasn't going to reach all the way.
Right.
And then we found this at Musgrove's for $100, $90 or something.
Right.
And then I just connected the old pieces, welded them on.
But I think this is lovely because you've got a really nice, very functional space. There's more than enough room for cooking. Because quite often you see a lot of people making compromises in the kitchen, when they're doing small spaces. Whereas I really like that you've really made sure that you've got enough space to do everything really well.
Yep, and then if you feel like you don't have enough space, you actually can pull this out, stick that on there. You got more space. You can hide your dirty dishes too. The whole build has costed us, with the fridge and the wood burner, major purchases. The whole build so far, we're running about $15,000.
Wow. So that's a really low cost for a place like this, isn't it?
Yeah, I've talked to people who spent $15,000 just on their trailer.
So what are your plans for the home now? What's left to do to get it all finished?
Well, we got to do the trim on the outside of the windows.
Yeah.
We're going to be building a deck out front and with a roof.
Yeah.
So we have more living space kind of, and just stuff like that, really. I think it's definitely going to be a major adjustment. You know, and just, I think the initial few months, it's going to be getting your head around it, you know, and just saying, this is it. This is the way we're living now. Now get used to it, you know. I think I'm trying to prepare mentally, not so much any other way.
I think it helps too that we come out here every weekend. So pretty much on the weekends we like bring enough food so we can eat lunch out here, and when Pat's doing something outside, I'm hanging out in here reading or whatever it may be. And yeah, at the end of the day, we really don't want to leave.
Well, I think you've done a really cool job with this space. I love all of the use of recycled materials. I think it just adds so much character to the place. It's really fantastic. Thank you for showing me around.
No problem.
Can't wait to come back and see it when it's all done and see how you guys are enjoying living in the space.
Sweet, man. Awesome.
I think this tiny house really goes to show what you can accomplish if you're not afraid to, well, I guess, rob some dumpsters and see what other people are throwing out and find all these really ingenious new uses for what other people are considering trash. This home is absolutely gorgeous. It's taken all these recycled elements and combined them into something which is truly special and really feels wonderfully homely. I think Corey and Pat are going to be really happy in this space. I'm really excited to see how it works out for them.